Omo mochi omo galamsey no. Omo tu omo. Yebema omo amnesty no omo asaba. Mojidi say, Emrebia omo fomye, omo enu omo ho. Enti yebe yi omo na yama omo another chance. Our commitment to afforestation must be accompanied by strict environmental law enforcement, and this is why under my administration we will sustain the fight against illegal mining or galamsey. I've directed that no government appointee at any level should engage in any form of legal or illegal mining. If you want to be a miner, leave government and go and be a miner. You can't be in government and be a miner at the same time. And I wish to reiterate that any government appointee found violating this directive will face swift and severe sanctions, including possible removal from office.
I can confirm to you that you are going to see a fight that has never been witnessed in this country. President Mahama is going to lead a very ruthless and relentless campaign against galamsey. He has not minced words at all. We had a brief cabinet meeting earlier today, and the president was very clear. There was no ambiguity that he will be leading a war that we have never seen to deal with this canker, this existential threat, once and for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I wish you the best.
Indeed, if we were in some other jurisdiction, he would have resigned by now. By his word, he put his presidency on the line. Because now his own people have been found to be the ones engaged. All their party executives have, concessions and are doing illegal mining in forest reserves. It's a pity, but it's close to home, and that's why he can't deal with it. If you go to the districts, they talk about community mining. Community mining is the MPP party executives and the DCs who are doing the community mining. And so they are the ones doing what they're doing. And so how can you expect him to fight, galamsey when his own people are involved in it? And so I don't kid myself that we don't have our own people involved. And the work of the NIMOS is not easy. They go to a community and the chiefs, the youth, and everybody come out and resist them.
Abusia, mpenifo taka se anu ayadeje bosia enye no an yeditwa.
Mibusa aban mibusa President John Mahama. Enti nanu a wote se wa won krofo ni bi tu galamsey no. Why you moden? President John Mahama. Mibusa se nanu a wo se wa won krofo ni bi wonnim so mu tu galamsey no. Why you moden? Because enema hu se mo bubo na na Akufo-Addo die se na Akufo-Addo assign Wontumi ti. Enti mo bubo. Na wa won krofo na wo ya aware wate national security cartel say omu ye galamsey no. President John Dramani Mahama, papa, respectfully, why ye omu den? Time ye di Wontumi ye season in your mano na onko sa forest ni mu. But galamsey da so koso. Nti e tell say enye Wontumi se mususu se oye galamsey a anaso ode na ade ama obi amane ye galamsey a galamsey ni da so koso dika galamsey ni koso under your watch tina nano me catch you say national security our cameras a be bia wo Ghana ha bia no omunim krofo mu ye galamsey they know untimi nka nchem say president aye mau briefing no unim wo NDC form ye galamsey yankopon kwa na enokwafo
whereas the court efa one part enoja one part of the one part was Wontumi no onko ye adwuma wo ho na afeso ndu akube and of the kube no aspect and so what ko ye bo adua kube because it's an afterthought so o hwe clearly and we think say ase nyemu awa 10 pro whether ne awo kan ye onyina so ye nyina so ye mfa nkoto that's why we believe it was a political trial and it's not going to. Last week, the Honorable Member of Parliament for Bia East, the Honorable Richard the Champion, but now baby, I'm not meeting because I'm a meeting baby, I'm not doctor. He made a very serious statement. Or say, I think you're chichi baby. Prosecuting baby. So you can clearly see there's a whole political state being set. That notwithstanding, the NPP affirms its confidence in the judiciary. That doesn't mean the judiciary cannot get it wrong in its rulings. And when a court gets its ruling wronger, you have appellate structures you use to also remedy the situation.
Abusia Samia Uku ya oyembra shebedwane edema MPP amanyokyo ene anopa yi wokoko PM ewo United Television ya nkoma hodo bebre noa ena ekoso titiru efa chairman Wontumi ya sese de court abua ne fo si won konkode fiase emfie aduono eno da nchen so a sa district tribunal ya sese de NDC aban asan akofaba a se ababaye deja ewo man mu anipa bebre no atwe ne sere ne abasa ya wonu mo mfie kwa ni mu ya no mo nim said na tribunal ne si di na dwuma Ghana hade wonu mo chese wo mo pese ombe tim pokura no ma so kura no nso so nkomodie ekoso kakra na de abedadwane se ebre ya na NDC amonyokwe wonu mo bontoa no wo mo hyase keka nsem bi enne wo mo ba ban mu no wo ma hyase de saa ne ma no eye adwuma ya wo mo kire se wo mo de wo mo ba benadam twibosi akode kia ne ken se wo mo be kina tumti ne de ekoso nyanwa eno nti Samia okunya daagi kirekire mu de ntia wo mo wosa nyina so ne se niema ekoye no o ma hyeda tena dem asese frise wo mo ministers wo mo MPs no wo mo DCs nya dade no ano de bi wo mo na mu bia asem wo mo kan no yenya daagi na yentie Samia oku wo ne nkire mu o de ba ye ne wo mo no mo hia wo program no so no kwan ya ofa so mo hunu se de ekoso no de eye political persecution wadaro malaki video yi ma me na share for adwen kire nso so bra.
The presidential candidate of the NPP almost starts really judgment, you know. You know the signal said near Ekekakwe no ne betimi awie no. He quickly also summoned a party senior lawyers who are affiliated to the NPP Bebre. Now, including the former deputy speaker Ira Jogate, Ira Godfrey Dame, and also the attorney general. Ira Jogate was attorney general under Kufo. And Ira Frank Davis, more Ira lawyer Gary Nimakon, and then the top brass of the party's legal luminaries, Bebre. Go through the judgment, and then Ababetoja, and then also further made some few directions known to the party. Say we are clear in our minds. Say it is the beginning of a long drive. He is clear in his mind that there was a political trial, and Bawumia is clear in his mind. Say the precedent that has been set is dangerous. So he instructed these senior lawyers of the party, together with Ira Atachamo, to join effort and join hands to make sure, say, two things that Ojidi said we have to pursue. One, a pending appeal on the case, submission of no case. I want to meet lawyers in the initial stages, never up a court of appeal. Say, yenya humwa ansana judgment weba. And at the second instructions also awama to Nina colleague senior lawyers now to also pursue as a matter of urgency. And Nimenim here is also appeal against the judgment. That he in his mind, he thinks the judgment is defective. He thinks the judgment is defective. Now, if it's allowed to stand, now you're appealing using the right processes now, it has the tendency of setting a very dangerous precedent. And I don't know if I'm allowed to go into in an answer the round.
No, but
you know, Oko, there's this decided case about Loma, Salomon versus Salomon Company Limited. Salomon versus Salomon Company Limited. Now, I know the doctrine of separate legal personality. And in this, no, the essence of our ruling way of the court, a foreign case, was that once a company are duly registered and incorporated, no, that a legal person, the company will become a corporate, body corporate. It can sue and can be sued. And in that case, no, we separated the company from the individuals. Into say Akonta mining, Aquaco involve itself, and as BBS in Akonta mining. You cannot say say the personalities na ye nipa na ebi directors, shareholders no will have to suffer the penalty for it. So it's a decided case. Now again, as in that case, I believe so a company will the legal identity our original honum. So no so just can remove it as a company in nipa original honum. So the ruling of the court and Rano is quite a very dangerous precedent for Yemrano Kaka. And with this now, let me go into the judge relied heavily on circumstantial evidence. One rely purely on the evidence before it. And it's one of the bases I perceive the court tested the case or appeals court. And I'm saying this because we have section 14.1 and section 99.2b. The assignment of mineral rights, it is by writing, express, and by deed of assignment. Nti no na minister no e de ade mawa or approve say ya assign away to you. Again, Mira Ora Erika for my senior colleague member of parliament got it totally wrong. Say Wontumi did not even have the mineral right. Why? Because the assignment, the concession he's talking about now in dispute. I know the he legally acquired the concession. And now, let me say, I was very surprised you did not correct the honorable member of parliament, because you should have, because he legally acquired it. So, madam, permit me to also criticize you on that. It's only fair. Yes, it's only fair, because I have to set the record straight on what he said.
But when he said it, and I remember saying,
what he kept saying was that we should separate the two cases.
I remember telling him, say, even pay the judgments and all.
Yes.
You can't say illegal mining. Well, maybe he said I didn't ask a concession. It was legally acquired.
Because it was one statement he made, and it's a statement of untrue. And now, secondly, what kind of judgments in Munana? The judge based her ruling on the fact that Wontumi assigned his mineral right from government and from the minister, assigned it illegally to a third party without a minister's approval. The state did not produce any evidence of this assignment of rights of Wontumi to this third party. It was never stated in it. Again, the judge ne conclusion is what throughout over 150-page ruling document. The judge at no point in time says or convicted Wontumi say were involving himself in illegal mining. Because one, the state when provided any evidence say you was site or you say oil mining, you evidence say you sue excavators and also you say. So the prosecution in this case, buying a lawyer for only relied on the oral testimony of the third party saying so. Whereas the court, if one part, and uja one part, or for the one part was na afis wundu kube, and of the kubeno aspect and so. Because it's an afterthought. So clearly, and we think say I say whether that's why we believe it was a political trial. And it's not going to last week. The honorable member of parliament for Bia East, the honorable Richard the Champion, Bettina baby and because I'm a baby and not doctor, he made a very serious statement. Or say, I think you be chichi bebre. Finally, prosecuting bebre. So you can clearly see there is a whole political state being set. That notwithstanding, the NPP affirms its confidence in the judiciary. That doesn't mean the judiciary cannot get it wrong in its rulings. And when a court gets its ruling wronger, you have appellate structures you use to also remedy the situation. It is on the basis of this that we believe, say, we disagree with the decision of the court on this matter. We believe say the judgment was poor and defective. Yes, Sansujitum said the court relied only on circumstantial, relied on the testimony of one person, a third party, who did not produce or provide any evidence. Because if you are talking about assignment of right, the statutory condition is that it must be written. And the state did not produce any written document Wontumi assigned the mineral right to this third party. So in that case, and the very sections that Ujina so did not for 20 years. And mind you, this is not a civil case, a criminal. And in criminal justice system and jurisprudence, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. Because the least doubt inures to the benefit of the accused. Into the state should have pushed further for the Henry Okumno to produce that evidence of Wontumi assigning that mineral rights to him. And secondly, when producing any evidence, be a video, a recording, a meeting, any express assignment of it. And so this decision, when allowed to stand, is set a very dangerous precedent for many people. Mind you, many Abema Mashewe Jeno Wakrofom. And I'll use him as an example because his constituency is a mining constituency. Akrofom is a mining constituency. Now, you have people who own concessions who are Akrofom. The facts in the only concession, and as I say, many artisanal miners, small scale miners, they don't normally own the concessions. They work on people's concessions. And so what you are going to get is that any owner of a concession will have to drive away people. However, what we have to be interested in is the sustainable mining and say you. But as I say, you have ship house at your team UTV. Now BBC or aha. You cannot say because Peace FM, UTV, and the Despite Group owned by Ofori Sapon and a Despite Inti. Bonibias were premises you bet your a triumph rather than the people like Yachium so Modibonewa. And that is why this judgment is dangerous. But you see, it don't say people will think that the shoe is on another foot. You can't because a MPP ni nenya. It reminds me of the law of causing financial loss to the state. NDC Abreso and the share Samuel. Now, they ended up suffering the penalty of it. Now, NDC for. And this judgment, if you allow it to stand, anybody can target any NDC official who owns a concession. All I have to do is to make sure that one person arrest that person on a concession and say who assigned the right to you. Oh yeah, then I don't even need to prove that there was a written assignment to you. So meaning any pan bit me a chantra totally. In this case, in this case, the prosecution at every material point in time could not provide any